Hey Void, how y'all doing? So, been a little while since I reviewed anything from my own personal collection, so I've been doing a lot of streaming the past couple days. So, I decided to pick one out that I've been meaning to revisit for a while, and I kept having to pause and think, have I reviewed this one yet? And I have not on this show, but it occurs to me that I did actually do a video review of this one a year or two before I actually started doing reviews on here proper. So I have already done something on this. If any of you were watching my Facebook reviews back in the day, I was doing essentially trying to watch a movie a day over the October and post a review the same day. So just kind of going through them all. They were very short. I know most of my videos here aren't that long anyway, but I those ones were even shorter. This one I think I did spend a little bit more time on, because this was the movie I kind of finished out the month on. That is 31. So, Rob Zombie's now second most recent film. I already did a review for Three from Hell way back when I first started. So, I've seen this one a couple. This is the second time I've seen this one now, and it's okay. It's pretty much what I can give for it. It's definitely a Rob Zombie movie. It feels very much like a Rob Zombie film, but at the same time, it feels like it's trying to catch in on the vibe of House of a Thousand Corpses without being House of a Thousand Corpses. It feels in the same general universe, which is fine, but I think I just need a little bit more here to grab onto. I mean, the gore effects are great, the horror violence is well done, and there's definitely plenty of disturbing implications. Once the movie gets going, it has teeth, and I like that. But I needed either a little bit more setup or a little bit more exposition. If this movie was just a little bit longer, or I don't know, just spend a little bit more time. Anyway, 31. It's involves a group of traveling carnival folk, starring Sharon Moon Zombie, as all his movies pretty much do. Again, nothing wrong with that. It's fine to have your own stable of actors. Flanagan, my favorite one, my favorite director currently, does that all the time. He keeps putting his wife in also. Fine. And a few other favorites. Rob Zombie's cast pool make an appearance, but they're essentially just traveling from one place to another, and then just happen to get caught up in on Halloween in the 70s, get caught up in a sadistic game of death. They're ambushed, kidnapped, and dragged into essentially a most dangerous game style event, where they're forced into a maze and they have to survive 12 hours in there while being hunted by a variety of killers. Lorded over all this is Malcolm McDowell and two other women who are essentially betting on the proceedings, while dressed up in like Victorian finery surrounded by naked girls. So it's a vibe and an entertaining one. One of the main things I wish I had seen more of was Malcolm McDowell's character and the other two, because they're there, they're an imposing force, but you don't really know anything about them. You don't know who they are or why they're doing it. Their characters have names, but they're never said in the film. Malcolm McDowell plays Father Murder, or Brother Murder. I can't remember which it was even, because it's just listed in the credits. He's pretty much the MC of the event as well as the bookie, and he's placing bets between them and occasionally calling out the odds. How long they've been doing this, who they are outside of this, and with more. It never really goes into it. I would like to have seen a bit more about what it is they're doing and why, other than just rich people with a Victorian fetish that just like to bet on murder. Anyway, I will say their stable of killers is the most inventive part of the movie. Uh, was there anything else to the plot? No, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. They go in and essentially killers are sent in. Once if a killer gets defeated, another one's sent in, and well, there we go. So the killers each have like a name that's some play on head. We have Six Head, Psycho Head, Schizo Head, Death Head, Sex Head, and Doom Head all make an appearance, and a few others are referenced. And they have this kind of, they all have a clown motif, but, and they're definitely over the top, but I will say, of them, both Doomhead and Sickhead kind of steal the show. Sickhead's the first one you meet, and he's a dwarf Mexican Nazi. Yeah. Anyway, he's so it's a very inventive to see him stalking the killers and alternating between English and Spanish. But my only complaint there, I don't speak Spanish. And most of the dialogue is in Spanish, and occasionally characters will respond to him in it, but they don't subtitle it. If you turn on the subtitles for the on the DVD track, it'll actually translate the subtitles there. But for it itself, it does the movie as intended. It doesn't have any subtitles there, so and some of the stuff he says is inventive if you know to watch it. But I will say the main standout was Richard Brake's performance as Doomhead. He just has a style about him, and the opening shot is pretty much him in black and white talking to the camera as if he's talking to the victim, and it's chilling. Particularly just the look in his eye. He almost never blinks throughout like the 5-minute sequence that goes on there. It's haunting. And he's the pinch hitter who pretty much comes in after a lot of the other heads have been dispatched to wrap things up, and he just does it with such style and efficiency. He definitely is a big perk to the movie. But the movie just is okay. The violence is great, the effects are good, which keep this one from kind of falling below because the story is pretty same old. This one feels a lot more rushed than some of Rob Zombie's other films. This one was a crowd-funded one, so maybe they just didn't have the budget for what they were hoping to do. But this would definitely up the brutality and violence, which works, but everything else is just kind of, the characters, you just get to know enough, but not enough to really get invested with them other than Sherry Moon Zombie's Charlie. But enough is inventive here to give me, I keep wavering between giving this a 5 MacGuffins or a 6 MacGuffins, but there is enough here that I think I can give it a 6. But I'd rather watch House of a Thousand Corpses. That one just had more for me with the characters, because the villains had more time to be villains. And you really got to know them. While in this one, they're there for just usually a few minutes, and they're memorable, sure, but you don't spend enough time with them. They tried to set up Sexhead a little bit more, but which helped. But her and Deathhead are in the film so short, it barely amounts to anything. So yeah, Rob Zombie's 31. I'll give it a 6 MacGuffins because it's an entertaining film, and if you go in just wanting some of the old ultra violence, you'll get what you're coming for. But don't expect a lot of high art here. All right, all for that one, and see you guys soon.